Hello and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Education. I'm Molette Green. Today, we're discussing English as a second language programs for the exploding Latino population in this country. These programs are in greater demand now more than ever before. For example, in certain areas of the Washington metropolitan area, which include the Virginia and Maryland suburbs, Latinos outnumber African Americans and whites. And on this edition of Let's Talk Education, we explore the need for English as a second language programs, the impact on the community at large, and meet ESL instructors. We also want to look at some of the possible career opportunities for aspiring teachers. Before we meet our in-studio guests, here's a little more about ESL programs.
My name is Danita Simpson, and I'm the director of the Prince George's Child Resource Center, Family Support Center here in Langley Park, Maryland. Our center was established in 1994 to serve families who have children under the age of 4, are pregnant, or English is their second language. The center has several classrooms. We have one classroom that's for the infants and toddlers, where we begin to see the children starting at 6 weeks of age to age 3. And we have a second classroom, which is considered our art room, as well as our gross motor classroom, areas where the children can come and play. And then we also have the adult ed classroom, which has a computer lab where the participants are able to learn English, learn computers. We also have a kitchen, and the kitchen includes our laundry facility that is available for the families to come and do their laundry. The center also hosts a beautiful playground that the children are able to come in and be able to go outside and play. And their main goals is to be able to learn English so that they are able to communicate with their child's teacher, doctor, or even be able to make appointments for themselves, go to the bank, and be able to just do basic day-to-day activities in their lives.
And now let's meet our panel. Danita Simpson-Escano is director of the Adelphi Langley Park Family Support Center of Langley Park, Maryland. She is responsible for managing all of the programs and staff. Ms. Simpson-Escano was born and raised in Panama City, Central America, until she moved to Washington, D.C., where she completed high school and college. English is her second language. Julia Amaya Duarte, a native of Honduras, is now taking classes at the center's GED program. She immigrated to the U.S. at a very young age, 3 years old. Also with us for this discussion, Allison Cocoros, principal of Carlos Rosario International Public Charter School right here in Washington, D.C. She has worked in the field of adult and immigrant education for more than 18 years. Danita, Julia, Allison, thank you all for joining us on this edition of Let's Talk Education. All right, Danita, you first. Let's talk about how vital these programs are to the community today.
I think the programs are very, very vital for the families. Not only to come and learn English, but we also become a family member to these families. They come to learn English, they come to learn basic life skills, to assist them with all the needs that they may have for themselves and their children in the community.
And Julia, you are a perfect example of how ESL programs are more than just about learning to speak English, because you are now working on your GED, right?
Exactly, yes.
Talk about that.
Well, I was raised here. I went to school throughout the whole, 12 years, but I dropped out from high school, and, I didn't continue my education. And then I realized that it was really important. And when I was introduced to this program, it was ESL, and I know how to speak well, but it's very beneficial, and especially with the GED.
Yeah, and it's more than just about speaking the language, but the reading, the writing, comprehensive reading too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that you have to work on.
Yes.
Was that very hard for you? Going back after dropping out and just the whole transition?
Well, not really, because I've reached a point where I realized that I needed it. So, like I was talking to Danita, you have to have that hunger, and I think that you have to reach to a point when you're a high school dropout. And I've reached my point, especially with a 2-year-old daughter and a baby coming on the way. I really need to do this for them, but mainly for myself. But it is very important.
Absolutely. Allison, of course, you've been in the business for a long time and you've seen the impact. Talk about how important it is to have these programs.
I tell you, Molette, it is so essential. We have currently enrolled at our school 2,200 students, enrolled in English programs, getting their high school diploma in citizenship, getting computer literacy, and in our workforce development programs. And on top of that, we have 1,000 applicants that are on our waiting list.
Wow.
And so they're coming to our school desperate and determined to learn the English and the skills that they need to be able to integrate into American society. And that's why we're here. That's the mission of our school. The demand is just so high.
Wow. Denisa, tell us about the program that you offer and the services that you have.
Absolutely. One of the programs that we offer, not only English is a second language for adults in the ESL program, we also offer the program that Julia is in, which is the GED program. But then we also offer employability, like the program. It's my colleague here. We also have nurturing, which is very important for families to learn the discipline, the development of their child. We also have classrooms in the center, which we don't call them child care centers. We call them classrooms because we get the children ready for school. We do assessments and observations. We use tools to make sure that the children are developing properly. If we identify any delay, we call the community organizations that will come in and help the families to help the children succeed when it's time for them to go to college.
And I just want to stress, a big part of the work that you all do is getting these young people to the next step, whether it be going to college or finding a job that will support their family needs.
Absolutely. We also provide transportation. The program that Julie is in, we also help them with community college that's in the area to help them get, whether it's the financial aid and the need that they need to make sure that they get to the classes and to be able to graduate and get the jobs that they need as well. We also have, on our employment readiness program, we have clothing. We teach them how to do mock interviews, how to complete their applications properly, how to just prepare for that moment when they have to go out and do the interview, to be ready, be on time, dress properly, say the right words, just be ready for when it's that big time arrives.
Julia, did you think you were going to get so much when you went back to school, all these opportunities to work on different areas of your life?
No, at first I just was focused on just getting a GED, but then realized that the program offers so much more. And I'm very fortunate because it's going to help me with career goals and even for my child as well, because she gets her development, and that's what's it's beneficial.
Absolutely. Allison, as we're talking about, ESL programs involve more than just learning to speak English.
Absolutely, and that's part of the model of our school at Carlos Rosario. We have a holistic model that meets the needs of the whole person, because that's what we found in all of the research for adult education, that you must address the potential barriers to success and to the students reaching their goals. And so at our school we have a comprehensive support services department that provides one-on-one counseling. We have workshops and training on home buying, on how to, the police community relations, and how to call 911 to report an emergency, on how the healthcare system works. How tax preparation. At tax time, we have a line all the way down the hallway with our students. We've had visitors come to the school before who say, we have never seen anybody so eager to pay their taxes ever before. So this is what we offer in our supportive services department to help make sure that the needs of the whole student are being met so that they can succeed in learning the English skills that they need and getting their high school diploma, getting the better job, and better supporting their families.
And Julia, you've been able to go to school, but you're of course a busy mom and you're expecting your second little one. Have you been able to share these experiences with other people in your community, your friends who may need a little bit more help?
I have. I've told them about the program and how it benefits myself and my kids, and how important it is. And the program isn't just about your GED, isn't just about ESL. I've had nurturing, which helped me in my personal life a lot, and I feel like I'm a better mother, I'm a better wife, I'm a better person because I've been taught all these things. But even group discussions, we've all helped each other, and if I know anything, I always try to tell anybody that really needs it, because it's out there. It's just people don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Denisa, you wanted to add something?
Yes, I wanted to add, as the other program mentioned, we also have other programs that we offer. We also offer a prenatal education program for the families in the community, and this is for the entire community. We also offer the car seat loaner program at our center. We also have a group mental health that we offer for the families. So as my colleague mentioned, we not only serve the families their needs for English, but we have to serve the entire family. When it comes to the Latino population, we serve the whole family. So with other services that we provide, we will be able to, help the family, whether it's completing an application for a passport, for the medical assistant. We provide all those services at the centers as well. And again, we do keep an extensive waiting list.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Is there this big component that I found in the research is giving back to the community?
Yes.
We've talked about the family, supporting the whole family and services, but that is huge too, I've read.
Absolutely. That's part of the mission of our school, is to equip our students with the skills necessary to be able to give back to their communities. And so we see that time and time again. I have an example to share with you. And I'll preface it by saying our student body is very diverse.
Yeah.
And so they come from 50 different countries and speak 39 different languages.
Wow.
Our students are coming primarily from Central America and from Africa. And so this one example is Fatima from Morocco. And when she came to this country in 2005, she didn't speak a word of English. And she found out about our school. She was working in the fast food industry. She studied every single level of English that we offer. She got involved in student government, got involved in volunteer opportunities at the school. And today, Fatima is working as a bank teller at Bank of America. She's studying at UDC through a scholarship that we provided her to be able to go to college. And she's volunteering in an ESL class with us, so she's giving back to our school. And she just became a citizen of the United States through the citizenship program that we have. So that's just one example of the thousands of graduates that we've had in the school. But that is very much something that permeates what we do. We have a student government body, and they have a volunteer project every semester where they'll go and they'll clean the alleyways behind our school, or they'll partner with an elder care center and go read and interact with local elders. So it is essential, and what I love to see is how our students flourish. They love the opportunity to give back as they're gaining these skills to be able to do it.
Yeah, Julia is such a great example today, but I want you to talk about some of the other students. What's a typical student like? What are their circumstances? Paint a picture for us with words.
Well, we do have families from Central America. We serve families who English is their second language, and we also have African families. And we have families that will come with no education whatsoever, no literacy at all, and we can have doctors, lawyers in their countries, but English is a barrier for them. And we have students like Julia where we will assist them into getting into leadership programs so they can also give back to the community. So we have different levels of education. We have volunteers to come in and do one-on-one tutoring to assist these families just to learn the ABCs, just to be able to count numbers, to be able to keep their finances. So that's some of the things that we see at the center. We have participants who will come in and ask us, where can I get married? How can I apply for child support? So we not only become a center that we teach English, but we become kind of the part of their family unit. Anything that these families come, we become a trusted place for them to come for whatever they need in the community. So whatever's going on in the community, we know. We also have participants with issues with domestic violence, mental health, depression, postpartum depression after pregnancy, and we host those groups as well. We just started a new program under our family literacy. It's called Learning Parties. And the families meet once a month. They get to come to these wonderful learning parties that we have. They get free books. They get to know and learn activities, how to read a book, to make it interesting for their child to want to read. And now we're in the second part of it, which is to do with math. How to learn math and reading at the same time. So it's been a rewarding just to hear the stories that the families tell us, that they take home what they learn and also help their husbands, who are most of the time their sole providers. So it's amazing whatever resource we can bring into the center to help these families build on their strength and to help them for themselves and also to give back to the community.
Allison, you mentioned the different levels of English that you offer. Explain that.
Sure, absolutely. So as Danitza was mentioning, we have entry-level classes for folks who have limited education in their own countries, and so they don't have the literacy skills in even their own language. So that's a class that we call orientation, and that helps equip this person very interested in learning English with the building blocks of literacy in their own language so that they can transfer that to learning English. And then we have levels 1 through 8 of English as a second language, 8 being the most advanced level and getting closer to preparing our students to go on to more advanced workforce development certifications, going on to college, going on to starting up their own businesses.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
it's very important to provide that spectrum of ESL. But one thing I should mention about this that we find is that our students will come to the school with a goal. For example, we have a student who's working as a busboy, and he sees his friends working as waiters, making more per hour, and he's driven to be able to better support his family.
Yeah.
Right. And so he comes to learn English and enters at level 1 ESL, and will stay with our school for 2 semesters and get to level 3 ESL and reach his goal and get the waiter job through working with our supportive services department and our job counselors who are bilingual. And then a year later, we will often see that student re-enter into our program saying, you know what, I need to get my high school diploma and I need more advanced English language skills so that I can go to college, because my dream has always been to go and get my degree in a certain field and start up a business or something like that.
That's the whole idea, is to better yourself and improve your life and circumstances. That brings me to you, Julia. What are your goals, your long-range goals for yourself?
Well, my goal is mainly to get my high school diploma, and then after that, I have a wide range of, what to do. I'm still thinking about it, just because I have work since I've dropped out. So I do have a lot of work experience, but, I'm just so passionate to just do so much. So I'm hoping that I can get a career where, medical-wise, but also help out. And I'm very driven to give back to the community, just because I've received so much, and not a lot of people consider that. And I'm really considering and giving back and just helping, especially the Hispanics, because I've seen, and where I've been raised, I've seen the struggles, and to have that help is just a push and motivation to move forward in life.
Absolutely. You're such a good example. Do you feel more connected as well, or are starting to feel more connected to the larger community? Because the whole idea is to integrate more into society, hold on to your culture, but of course be able to move through life as we meet this diverse people in this diverse nation. Do you feel more connected?
I do. Every time I find new information, I always, especially in church, I always give out, information and tell them, this is a great opportunity, especially for young pregnant women. It's out there, and why keep it to myself, so I have to, let the Hispanic, community, because I feel for them. I know that it's hard. I know it's a struggle. I came from a family of struggles. So, to have that, it's just a fresh air, it's just to have that, because it's something less to worry about when you have programs like this to help you.
What do you think the biggest challenges are for others who are, from your perspective, who are struggling? They don't know English very well, or they want to improve, but they haven't been able to access the programs. What are the biggest challenges from what you see from the people you know?
I think it's their fear of actually taking the first step. I could have done it a long time ago, but I didn't, and everything happens for a reason, and this is a perfect timing for myself. But when I see someone else, it's the fear of taking the first step. It's the fear of, okay, do I because inside they want to do it, but there's just so much that's going on around them that they always push it to the side. And I think it's really mainly fear.
That's why the life skills factor in these programs, that is one of the key components to making it a successful ESL program, Danita.
Absolutely. I was impressed when you asked Julia about the goals, and that's one of the things that we do when the families come in, when we do the orientation. We work with each individual families to assess their goals not only for themselves but also for the children or their family, and we monitor those goals every 3 months to see where they're at with their goals. Are we helping them towards that goal? So that's one of the main reasons that I think the families stay focused when they come to the program, because they know that we are on them. We following them and making sure they get the services and the workshops and whatever is needed for them to attain their goals.
Now, what is the cost, if there is any?
There's no cost.
There's no cost.
No cost.
They need to come in, fill out an application. Tell me about the process.
Yes,
to get
they
started.
can do it over the phone, or they can come in and fill out an application. We call it an intake. The requirement is that English is their second language and they have a child under the age of 4. That is the only requirements that we ask for. We don't ask for any income, no legal status, none of those things to ask for. Once the application is completed, because we run a classroom for the children, we still follow the ratio of infants and staff. So we make sure that we have the space available for the families to come in, and that's why sometimes our waiting list gets a little extensive, because we do have, small center, but we're serving the families and their children, and that is the only criteria. Also, if they need transportation, we will provide transportation to the families who live in vicinities to the center.
I think that's a very good point. You've made that before, and I'm glad you made it again, because that transportation component is very important. Allison, Carlos Rosario International Public Charter School. So does that mean it's free public school for everyone?
Absolutely. So our students pay just a minimal $15 admission fee to get their ID, and they buy their own books. Where we find students that can't afford to buy their own books or can't afford that fee, we don't allow that to be a barrier for them to enter. So absolutely, this is a free service, and I'm glad that it is, because it's such an investment in this community that is really paying off and really giving back to DC and to the larger community. I tell you, I look at our graduates. We've got thousands of graduates from our school in the Washington region now, and they're doctors, they're pharmacists, they've started up their own businesses, they're chefs, they're working in various industries, and they're now citizens, and they're buying homes and better supporting their families, and ultimately paying millions and millions of dollars of taxes that they would not have been able to pay otherwise, because their income level has raised as they've been able to gain these skills and better support their families. So now that's another way that they're giving back to the community. So it's an excellent investment to make. And I tell you, the community that we serve, they're so hardworking. I just respect their drive so much, because I feel like in my job, I see people living the American dream every day. They are working 2 and 3 jobs to support their families, and at the same time, they're carving out some space in their day to come and learn English or to come and work on their high school diploma, because they're just the hardest working folks, honestly, I've ever met.
Julia, doctors, chefs, the world is wide open for you. What do you think when you hear that?
That's why I said that there's such a wide range. After I complete, my high school diploma, there's just, the door is open, and it's open wide. And so that's why, right now I want to focus on my high school diploma. But after having that and having people behind you and supporting you, you could really, you grow that confidence in you that you can do anything.
Your self-esteem has really been raised from this experience. And I know Denita can add to that.
Absolutely. Julia came in the program shy, quiet, and I have seen her and her daughter Leah just blossom since they've been in the program. Leah is considered the queen of the classroom. She knows every kid that's in the classroom by name, and she knows there's special toys, there's special, activities that they're like, and I've seen Julia become one of our leaders in our classroom. She also encourages her classmates to come to class, to participate, to do their work. And I mean, I can't say but too much about Julia. She's just amazing.
And based on the census numbers, we know that it is very important for these programs and services to be out there. Let's talk about the career opportunities too that could open up for aspiring teachers. What do you think, Allison?
Absolutely.
Are you looking for teachers?
We're always looking for highly qualified teachers. Our teachers are amazing. Honestly, we have the most wonderful faculty. They have master's degrees in linguistics and in adult education. Most of them are bilingual themselves, and they're usually widely traveled, so they've been there. They themselves have been in a context where they were a fish out of water in a way, and so they've just got this empathy for our students and their drive and what they're going through. And so they do a fabulous job. So yes, we are always looking for folks either to come and volunteer at the school, to do their internships. We're always looking for student teachers to come and partner with our teachers. And as well, we've got part-time and full-time career opportunities for folks. So have folks call our school. I can even give the telephone number.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 202-797-4700. Feel free to call us if you want to come and work at our school or volunteer.
Yeah, we'll put that information up again
Thank you.
at the end of the program. And what do you need over there? Do you need volunteers? Are you hiring teachers? What's going on in Langley Park?
Absolutely. We could always use volunteers. And one of the things that we do at the center is that we are able to hire within. We have had participants like Julia come to the program, graduate, and we have hired some of those participants to work with us. So they are working also at the center. They are teachers. We also have home visiting staff who were participants in the past, who are now our home visiting staff. And maybe, we're working on our future director for the Family Support Center.
Absolutely. We talked about the contribution to society, but let's talk about that again in terms of the impact on the U.S. economy. Yes. And making the society greater by offering this opportunity to so many people.
Absolutely. So as I've said, thousands and thousands of folks are out there now in the economy who've learned English, who've gotten their high school diplomas. They're more employable. They're able to get better jobs at higher wages, so they're paying higher taxes. They're out there paying sales taxes because they're buying more things than they would have otherwise. They're buying homes and refurbishing homes. So it is a huge stimulus to our economy to train immigrants and invest in equipping them with the English skills and the high school diplomas and the citizenship that they need to be able to flourish.
Thank you so much. We've come to the end of what's been a wonderful experience, a super informative discussion on English as a second language programs going on in our community. We want to thank all of our guests today, Denitza Simpson-Escano, Julia Amaya Duarte, and Allison Kokoros. Keep up the good work. Thank you for coming in. Much success to you. That's it for this edition of Let's Talk Education. I'm Molette Green, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.